Hello. So let's continue my weekly thread and look at how markets have behaved and possible things that might make some changes to current trends. And of course, that will start with the news. And since this later this week will be beginning of new month, we will have employment data on United States. But apart from that, I wouldn't necessarily see that there is something remotely interesting. Yes, GDP forecast on Wednesday, but unless they wouldn't show something drastic, there wouldn't be much of the changes. So I'm not a news guy. I don't want to make story and scene out of every news there is. I would just say that basically, yes, there is some forward GDP report. I wouldn't say that it will be much important, and employment report, and we'll see if something will be seriously out of forecasts, then there might be something, but otherwise, if they are online with the trend, it wouldn't change much, and certainly it wouldn't change Fed policy and interest rate hikes and all those things about Fed pivot. But let's wait when they will happen. Other than that, let's just see how markets have behaved. And no, I didn't made this kind of post last week because I was covering FTX, but still, here are a couple of interesting things. Firstly, that is oil. You know that on 5th of December, sanctions against Russian oil came into force, which basically implied that not only seaborne oil will be suspended in Europe, which is main market of Russian oil, and Europe is largest consumer of Russian gas, so they are interdependent, but they will putting price caps on Russian oil as well. So people might think it would be bullish event for oil, but as you see, Brent oil is, I'm opening West Texas Intermediate, but with the Brent it's the same thing. It's in the lowest levels since at least autumn of 2021, so it's $20 lower than February 22, before actually war started. So it says you something now, right? Firstly, by the rumors, so the fact, and secondly, after shortages there's always a glut. So what it is that I think markets have been calculating these events for months, because the discussions about oil and oil sanctions against Russia goes at least from spring, and market has been along adjusted to that, and we see that reflected to prices. Of course, there might be issues from economic slowdowns and protests in China, and again, for 100th time they will have new COVID policies and something like that. But in general, thing is that Russian sanctions risks are shrugged off when actual sanctions on Russian oil to Europe started, and that's important thing. And I think this is the most interesting thing in last weeks. And here's also interesting thing, that despite everyone is crying that markets are going to collapse due to the Fed pivot and whatnot, look how markets have been rebounded, and this is with 4% into mortgage rates. People would say that economies will collapse, interest rates will go through the roof, and we will be in 1930s recession, but markets are not showing that. General markets, not technology stocks, are very strong here. Look at how historically strong they are looking in the eve of rising Fed policy. Look at the historical prices, just look at them. You see, this is not a sign of weak markets historically. Look how high we are. Look how this is 2000, this is peak year of housing boom of 2007, and now we are at the highest levels historically. So I don't know if someone is crying about stock market, they are straight up delusional. But currency markets are more or less stable. Yes, dollar was extremely high for all of the autumn, but it's slightly corrected, but still these are historically very strong levels for dollar against euro and other currencies still. Same with Bitcoin. Bitcoin does what Bitcoin always has done, made correction after FTX crash, and then since 9th of November it's flat. I have nothing much to say here because here is nothing going. So with that said, let's wait for like this week's employment news or maybe some other tail event, and let's see. But I will say my previous trends going to trend unless there are some unforeseen events, and we will make money on that if we will be smart. So stay tuned.